reference? I'm a big fan. Now move.
Hey there, gorgeous. Now, you might have already heard about this, but in case you haven't, allow me to tell you about it. There is presently a Robocop game on its way, and it looks goddamn fantastic. From the limited information we have about this game, we know that it's a first-person shooter, and that the goal of the game is bringing peace to Detroit. So my assumption is that this takes place between the movies, or somewhere between like 1 and 2. Now, as a massive Robocop fan, I even drop fat dubs on kids as him in Fortnite. Anyhow, I have high hopes for a Robocop game, and just from the past games that this developer has made, there's a lot of potential for this title. It looks like plot-wise, this will be following new stories in the Robocop universe, probably taking down entirely new villains and turning some baddies into mush. This developer being Treon, who, while having some misfires in the past, I'm looking at you, shitty Rambo rail shooter.
This is a direct order from Wolf Den. Abort your rescue mission immediately. Direct order to abandon you, it seems.
Their most recent game was Terminator Resistance, which was a fantastic and faithful adaptation of the horrifying future from the films. Treon really does seem to be all about adapting 80s action films to screen, aren't they? I can respect that. Where Terminator Resistance went right is the vibe. They nailed it. The Terminators are terrifying creatures of destruction, and you feel so incredibly squishy throughout the entire game. Sorry, starting to get sidetracked. I highly recommend Terminator Resistance if you don't mind AA graphics and such. It's worth a play if you're a fan of the franchise. So yeah, while Terminator Resistance is all about being weak and attempting to find a way to fight back against the machines, Robocop definitely is more on the side of the Doomslayer on the scale of badassery. From the gameplay, this also looks a bit like an open world game, which is what Terminator Resistance was, so we do know they know how to do open world pretty well. Not to mention they have the original actor's face as their Robocop, and I'm a fan of that, to say the least. Lends it with even more credibility to me, just kinda shows that they really care about the IP. Not to mention this really does look like the movies felt. The mucky, grubby streets and factories of Detroit are on full display in this trailer, and god damn, it looks like a horrible place to live in, a place that would need a Robocop. And if we get to speed on our motorbike down the streets of Detroit to kick some ass, my life just may be complete. Honestly, if this Robocop game is really good, I would love to see Treon continue to tackle some more classic action titles, especially since they seem to have a soft spot for the ones that haven't really been serviced by the games industry. Sure, there's been Robocop games in the past, but not really. I'd like to see them take another shot at Rambo now that they seem to have learned their lesson and improved as a studio. Like, I don't even know how this would work plot-wise, but I'd love to play a game adapting The Crow. I just adore the vibe of that movie. Well, what can I say? Also, Judge Dredd in a game. That would just bring me life, I think. This was Robocop Rogue City. I strongly recommend giving it a wishlist if you are interested, as it really helps smaller teams out with investors and all that fun stuff. And before anybody says it, yes, I know I'm late to the party, but at least I made it here. Anyhow, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you are having, and go forth to have, a lovely day. Give this video a like if you found it interesting, and if you'd like to see more content like this, I also do some reviews and fun stuff like that, so give that subscribe button a twist. But most importantly, have a goddamn wonderful day, and don't die.